Welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. I'm going to go into this big one. Rose windows, Gemini and Delta. We have, what do we have? We have all the things. Let's go to the middle there. This one comes out here, and it's going to have to turn. And this one is then going to do that. This could be that. I think, well, there's no way this one grabs that because that would block this. So this grabs that one and this grabs that one. Which means this must take that as well. And now I don't quite have... Yeah, I don't quite have that nailed down. This one does need to take that. But it could do that. Then this would be that shape, and this would be that shape, and those would be the same shape. That would mean this was something weird. Which... No, it could not be. Okay, it can't be that. That won't fit into this with these borders in there. So I'm thinking that this has to be that. That means that this those take those like that. Now if this one were to come over here, it would be infecting this one, which would then be that. That would be good. I think this breaks. I think that shape breaks. But it could be that as well. And then there's that, and this could take all of that. And it isn't restricted. That would work if this went that way. If this instead did that, Could I find a way to put that shape in here? No, I could not. It would be that, and it would have to take that, which is not a thing. Then it will do this one. This takes that, close that, make those do that. That comes like that. We don't know what all of these things are doing yet. This one is going to do that. So there's 2 dominoes there and a P. This is that. Whatever shape is here is here. If we take this one, then we have that, and this breaks. Is there any other way of doing that that would not happen? I don't think so. If we have that, that would not work because this one could not do anything without breaking something else in here. But this could be that, which would allow that. That would not work. That wouldn't work. Something has to work. Huh. It could be this way. There. Now those are both T tetrominoes without interfering with this. This one could be that. This could be that. And this one is there. Now this has an S. That would be this. That has to do that then, which means this one would be that. And that's the same shape. That can't happen. Those are the same shape. That. Those have to be different shapes. Well, there. Yeah. That would work. Okay. Everything comes together. Now I'm going to erase all that and see if I can do it again. What I know is that this one can't do that, because that would get here and this would be broken. So this one is that. I don't remember if that does what it does that there. Now this has to be part of... It's this. I remember. Okay. Then that. That's an S. Then there's that. L. L. T. This is a different shape. This is that. It's the same shape. And it's done. Okay, back to the easy one here. Ooh. There are two shapes, two regions. One of them is going to be that shape. How does 49? Okay. I'm looking at this to see how this piece can be wait. Oh no. Okay, that wouldn't work because I thought I saw two different ways of doing it, but the second way does not intersect this. So there's only one. And the entire rest of the puzzle is the second shape. Four. Let's go with the 2. That comes out, and it's got to do that, because that's what we're telling it that the shape is being told to do. This has to do that, because this does have to come out. Now this one has to go somewhere. It's there. I don't know what that one does yet. This one takes one of those two. Here we have a 3, and it can't go any other way but this. So that is that. Now there's that. This one is that. And this one will be that. Got a 5 there. Hello, hiding out and back. Ooh. I'll take on one of these. Rose windows, polyomino. Here, this needs to take Either that or that. This one needs to take one of those three. That needs to take one of those three. And that. This has to take one of those two. There is we do not have the mingle restriction, and we don't have a shape bank, but each of these has to take one of those shapes. Each region has to take one symbol. None of those regions that I just marked off can take that symbol in the upper left-hand corner. There are 12 polyominoes, which must each be independent because they're too far from each other. And there are 13 symbols, which means anything that these cannot reach has to be handled by that. This one is going to have to hit that, that, or that, so this is taken. Now this shape, I've got to get through. It's got to come through here. It has to come through here. It's going to have to get all this. That can't take that. This can't take any of this bottom stuff because they all have to reach each other. This one has to be one of those. Now that has to get out. It's going to have to come through here. Well, let's say that this now takes that. This is all in here. That can't take that. This shape is going to have to find its way so this one's going to have to do that. This one's going to do that. Now these are coming out here. That one can't take that spot. This is going to have to get out, so it's got to come through here. So now I know that does that. This one, well, this can't take that. this has to go get out and touch the other blue. So there. That one does that one. This one must do that one. Whoops. Now, this cannot be taken by anything else. But it hasn't gotten out, so there. And that. This shape still needs to get out. So that takes that, and this takes that. We're still trying to get out. That goes there. Nothing can take this. Now there's that one. This one. That one. And that. That was an interesting one. Like that. Okay. These back here are both 5s, but this one's only a 4. Let's come back over here where there might be an easier one. 4, 5. Or not. There, these ones. A 3. Precision. All regions must have an area of exactly 4 and mingle shape. This one, if this wasn't part of that, it would be blocked off. Same as for that there. So now there's this one. Has to take that or that. This one does this. Okay. I just see, let's see. That is, okay. The rule is that they can't be the same shape. We cannot have the same shape touching. Therefore, this is not an L. And this, well, that we know isn't a T. It could be, this can't be an L. Therefore, it's that. We got the S. Now, this cannot be an ST or, well, it probably can't be an L. Let's see. If this were to do that, this would be that, and there'd be an S right there. All that is valid. If this were to do that, there would be no way. Okay, so if that does that, is that a different shape than what I just drew? Oh, this is an S and that's an S. Okay. Had me scared there. Because there's not supposed to be anything that is the same. That. Four, three. What do we have? 25 of 34. There's still a lot to go in this region. Precision 5 and mingle shape. Everything in here has to be connected to that. We don't know which way it goes, but it only does one of them. This and that must be together. This shape cannot come past here or here, therefore it's just doing that. Here we have another of those. It could take that one or that one. And another one up here. This one cannot take this. It must do that. So there's a P. And this one can't go here, so it's there. Now this one, 3, 4. If I don't take that, I kill it. So there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't know yet. I'll have to take a look. Whatever is here can take those two, but it can't come out here. So that's at most 3, 4, 5. It could take one more here, but then must take that. Now, this is going to have to be a different shape, and if I were to do that, this would be the same shape, rotated, but it's the same shape, and also that would be the same shape. So this one must take that. Then there's that. This one has to not take that, but that's fine because this one needs it. And this one takes that one. That can't be the same region. That's got to be the entrance to the next region, which is open because I've finished this one technically. Are there any more hidden up here? That one is still there. You know what? I think I'm going to call this one here. And we'll pick up in the next one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.